Pre-Jesus Max, growing up as a young child, I remember we went to church as a family. I remember doing some Sunday school type stuff. I'm that selfish young kid. I enjoyed going for the donuts. I remember picking on my sister quite a bit just to draw attention to myself. I look at photos in our house and there's family photos, and I remember going to the church to take those. I knew God was always there in my life. He just wasn't a priority. In high school, I remember at the age, I think I was 14, 15 years old, I started wearing a cross necklace and had no idea what that meant other than it looked cool. But I felt protected when I had that on and I had it around my neck. Didn't go to church in college. When I graduated from college, I moved back to here, to Grand Island, and really didn't dip my toes into church until 2015, 2016. I was baptized on a Sunday with my sister. For me at that time, I didn't embrace what that meant, the new life, devoting my life to Jesus Christ. I was tempted by the devil a lot and the evil one. You could say that I was blocked off from the sunlight of the Spirit in my active alcoholism. And I was lost. But I can remember my mom on the phone. She was down in Arizona and I was here back in Grand Island. But she said, Max, we just want our son back. And it just hit me. I knew I was at rock bottom, right? Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. And I'll never forget that, And so that day for me, my sobriety date, since I wasn't sober on January 22nd, and probably wasn't sober on January 23rd either, but my sobriety date so far, is January 24th of 2024. And that's really is when my life was touched personally, by God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. I was an hour a week Christian. And that was it. My primary focus as an individual is to be sober. I can't be a good brother if I'm not. I can't be a good son if I'm not, and I certainly cannot be a child of God if I'm consuming alcohol. My number one focus in sobriety is my relationship with God, my higher power. If that's not the focal point of my day, to get to sobriety, I can't live a happy life. I start my days off in prayer and meditation. I get out of bed, let my feet hit the floor. I make a promise to God for that day, right? 24 hours a day, one day at a time, that I won't drink alcohol. I thank God for the day, the new day. I thank God for my sobriety. And third, I thank Him for a new life. This new life, specifically, I thank God for another day sober. I don't thank Max for another day sober. I don't thank Parker for another day sober. I don't thank the church for another day sober. I thank Jesus